Are you relocating to Lexington, Kentucky, and you're wondering about how far your money can go? Well, in today's video, I'm going to take you on a full map tour of the northwest side of Lexington, some of the newer homes that have been built up there. We're going to look at some older homes. We're going to check out the golf courses, the restaurants, the schools. We're going to take a complete in-depth look at that area of town. We're going to focus on two of our biggest price points that I get from buyers all over who call me about moving into Lexington. The first price point is around $350,000 or under, and then we're going to look at houses just under the $500,000 range, and we're going to make a comparison. So stick around with us on this video. You're not going to want to miss it. Hi, I'm Lisa Prather with Century 21 Simpson & Associates, and I'm also the host of this channel, Living in Central Kentucky. We try to update and add new videos every week so we can show our viewers from all over who are checking into Lexington, Frankfort, Georgetown, Richmond, all over Central Kentucky to help you figure out where is the best place to live if you're moving into Central Kentucky. So feel free to reach out to us, give us a call, send me a text or an email. I'll be happy to help you make the move into Lexington. So here we are, we're going to jump into my computer, and as promised, we're going to do a Google Map tour to show you exactly what the roads are in the area, what schools are in this area, what parks you'll go to, all the different things as far as how you'll live your life. This area of Lexington is perfect for first-time home buyers, people with young children. It's perfect for people who want to downsize. It's also great for people who want to move up and maybe move into their next level home, might not be their forever home. All different types of homes in this area. We're going to look at 2 or 3 different neighborhoods all on the northwest side of Lexington. So stick with me. We're going to jump into my computer right now. Okay, so here we are inside my computer here on Google Maps, and I've kind of zoomed out so we can get just a broad view of Lexington and the areas around it. Lots of times, if you've watched my videos before, we focus in on Lexington right here in the middle of this circle. Now this circle that goes around on the inside, this is referred to as New Circle Road. It goes all the way around Lexington. Then there is an outer circle that goes not quite halfway or so around the southern part of Lexington, and that's Man o' War. People don't like to travel Man o' War as much as they do New Circle just because of the stoplights there. So today, as you can see with all my little markers here, we're going to focus in on this northwest side of Lexington and all that it has to offer. Before we do zoom in, let's look over here. I wanted to show you just kind of where it is in relation to some of the other places that we talk about. We look at places up here to the west, which is Frankfort, and that is the capital here in Kentucky. We also do a lot of our videos over here in Georgetown, and you can see that that is right here to the north of Lexington. We do focus, there's a lot of new builds going on up in Georgetown, so we do like to focus up there some. Now down here to the south is Nicholasville, and if any of you are interested in maybe looking at some properties in Nicholasville, leave me a comment if that's an area that you'd be interested in. We'd be happy to go down there and do some videos in that area. So let's zoom in a little bit and let's take a look. So the first place that I wanted to kind of show you as we get started, we're going to look at houses in the, just under the $350,000 range. And so the first one we're going to look at is this house right here. Now, I want to show you some of the pictures of this house as we get started. We won't do a lot. We won't look at all of them, but you can see that this house has some vaulted ceilings. It's got some nice open spaces. This house is priced right at the $349,000 range. Very tall ceilings. It's got some extra details. Looks like it's tile floors and maybe luxury vinyl plank here. It does have tile backsplash. It looks like the countertops are laminate. I wanted to see if we could get around to the backyard, kind of give you a view of what's there. Now, people are living in this house. It's not a staged house, which most houses are not, but I wanted you to see the backyard, nice sized backyard with a covered porch. Now, this house, let's take a look at some of the details on this house. It's about 1,887 square feet. It was built in 2018, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So when we look at this property, let me see if we can find it over here on our map. I want to kind of zoom in and show it to you where it is here on our map. Let's see if we can zoom in now, and you can see that this is where it is on our map. Now we're going to drop our little guy over here on this road and see if he can take us for a walk. We'll see if we can kind of take a little walk. You can see that the houses are not the same. They do kind of have the same style. Most all the houses in this neighborhood have 2-car garages. They are a mixture of vinyl siding and brick. We're going to zoom in a little bit here just to kind of give you an idea. Now this first house that we're looking at is here in this Masterson Station neighborhood. You can see that it is very close here to the park. Let's see if it has any photos that we can kind of look at. They do have the Bluegrass Fair is there every year. They have a dog park there, lots of hiking, walking, the splash pad for the kids. It's really one of the nicest parks in Lexington. Here's some photos when it was snowing. There's the fair you can kind of take a look at. So you can see it is a really nice park, and it is very large, as you can take a look at the green space there next to that neighborhood. Now, as we're looking at houses just under the $350,000 range, you're going to see that it doesn't have, a lot of the updates that maybe a more expensive house will have. But, if you're looking for size, if you're looking for something that is more modern and you can get it in your budget, then these are going to be the houses for you. So let's take a look at the next house on our list. Now this one is just a little over 2,000 square feet, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So let's see if we can take a good look at this property. It is vacant. You can see that it does have tile floors, probably not the most appealing tile floors, but it is a 2,000 square foot house right at that 249 range. Looks like they painted the cabinets. What would you want to do in this kitchen? Maybe update the backsplash, change the hardware. It does have a neutral paint, but, maybe you could warm it up a little bit, maybe change the light fixtures. But, all in all, this property is a large space. It looks to be in good condition. It's in a good neighborhood, and you can see here's the primary bathroom. It's a nice size property in our lower price point that we're checking out today. So leave me a comment. What would be a deterrent for you about being able to purchase a house like this, even if it was in the neighborhood that maybe you were interested in seeing? Let's see if we can take a quick look at the school districts here. But before we look at the school district, I want to show this one to you on our map. So let's go over here to our map and see if we can take a look at this one. Now it's the farthest across the north side of Lexington. So here it is over here in this area. Let's see if we can take a look up and down the street. Now, what is this next to it? Can't tell if that's, I don't know, it's some type of a utility thing there. But let's look at the houses around it and maybe across the street. Looks like a very clean, nice area. Don't see cars parked in the way or, out in the road. So it does look like this is a nice neighborhood. But let's go back and check it out on our map to see where it is. When we zoom out and kind of give you a more broad look, we'll be able to see that this property that we just looked at, that's right at the 2,000 square feet, it's all the way over here. It's it's closer to the eastern side of our map. But I wanted to show it to you just because it is a little bit bigger. It is just under that $350,000 range, and it's in a really good area of town. Now let's look at our last one that's in our budget prices, back in our Masterson Station area. Now let's take a look at it. It is a 2-story home. really cute houses next to it. What do you think about this one? What do you think about the location and maybe the style? People walking their dogs. Let's look at it over here on our MLS and see what the pictures look like. It's also right at the $2,000, and it's a little lower, priced at $340,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It was built in 2007. So let's take a look at some of these photos here. Now this one is a little bit bigger. Let's see. It's 2,300 square feet. It's a little older. It's built in about 2007. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So now let's take a look at these photos. Now, I don't think this is hardwood. It looks like it's probably laminate. You have some older style cabinets there. It is a large kitchen. Nice laundry. Looks like there's your half bath. That's the view from probably the living area. That's a different wall treatment, huh? Now, this is the upstairs. It's likely that all 3 bedrooms are going to be up here. Now, you can tell this property is going to need maybe the carpet to be restretched. It does need some updating, but if you're looking for a house, this one is 2,000 square feet, and it is well under our 350 cap that we were going to look at in this area. So at 339 to 340, that would leave you an extra $10,000 maybe to do some updates on this property. Let's take a look at the backyard. It's a really nice backyard. Looks like it's a little sloping, and the front driveway is a little sloping. So, if you don't like slopey, this one may not be for you. So let's go back to our map and see if we can kind of take a good look. So that's the 3 houses that we wanted to see that were under the $350,000 range, just to show you that you can get a lot of value for your money depending on what areas of Lexington you look at. Now, if you're wanting to be on the way out down on the southwestern side of Lexington, or maybe down in Hamburg, you're probably not going to get as much for your money down there. But let's say you move into Lexington, into this area, and you're going to say, well, what is going on up in this side of town? Where is the grocery stores? Where am I going to shop? What about the schools? Let's take a look at those things right now. Now, the first elementary school that we wanted to look at is this one at Sandersville Elementary School, if I can get it to go. It is a newer school. It's not very old, and you need to check on niche.com to see what you think about this school. Lots of people who are moving into the Masterson Station area, maybe they're looking for their first time home, having a brand new elementary school where their kids didn't have to go very far was really a must. And so this new school has been built, and from what I'm hearing, people really do love this new school. But check this out on niche.com, because now there is several other elementary schools in the area. And we're going to take a look at this one. This is Coventry Oak Elementary School. It's a little bit older school, but as you can see, it's a 1-story, very large building. And it looks like it's in there's not really anything around it. So that is really nice. It looks like the roads are wide, so being able to get in and out in the mornings and the afternoons when you pick your children up makes that pretty handy to do that. But again, check this out on niche.com. If there's one school or the other that you find to be the better school, and that's the neighborhood you want to be in, then that'll be the neighborhoods that we need to look at. Now, the third elementary school we wanted to just take a look at is all the way over here on the eastern side. It is the Mary Todd Elementary School. Now, I know from looking at niche.com in the past that it does have a pretty high rating and ranking in niche.com. And you'll know that Mary Todd Lincoln was the president of Abraham Lincoln, and her childhood home is in downtown Lexington. So it's a very historic area, a name known to Fayette County and Lexington, and that's likely the reason they've named the school after her. All right, so that is the elementary schools in this area. So now we're going to shift gears just a little bit, and let's take a look at some of the things here as far as restaurants in this area. The first restaurant I wanted to look at, and there are several of these throughout Lexington, which is Drake's. It is right there just past the Leestown exit. They have pub style food, not diner food really, but more pub style food. Let's see if we can get a look at maybe a menu. I'm not sure if we can. You can see it's got pretty cool decor. If you want to go in after work and, maybe have a hamburger, have a beer, this would be a great place for you to go. Now, I want to show this one to you. If you live here in this Masterson Station location areas, you can see where my cursor is up here by the park. If you live in this area, you're going to get right here on 421, which is this road right here, and you're going to drive into this area here will be the entrance to New Circle Road. And all of these restaurants are just inside of New Circle. So I'll kind of pull you back out so you can get an idea. There are several restaurants and the coffee house. There's a Kroger here in this area. Very convenient. You could be over here in 5 minutes to any of these places that we're going to look at. This next restaurant I want to show you, I haven't eaten here, but I really would like to try it. It's kind of like a diner, an old style diner with a new vibe. It's called, Bourbon and Toulouse. And I think there are a couple of these here in the Lexington area. But you can see they do have like diner style food, just a real nice family atmosphere. Maybe Saturday afternoons, you want to go over there and get, lunch or order it to pick it up to go. Just a great little diner here. So I'm going to put that one on my list of places to try. The next thing that I wanted to show you is this Thoroughbred restaurant. I don't think I even knew this was here. Let's look at it and see what it is. You can see it's right in this same area here in the Meadowthorpe area. Now this is more of an old style family diner. You see the checkered pattern on the floor, just the beer logos at the top, so it looks like they have pork chops and fried chicken, lima beans, all the things, burgers and fries, desserts. So if you're interested in any of these kind of places, you don't really have to go very far to be able to find a restaurant, that's just right here close to your house. Now, one of my favorite places that I like to eat is up here to the north, just a little bit up here on Georgetown Road is Red State Barbecue. Now, let me see if I can zoom in and show you. It's just a little hole in the wall type place, but they have some really, really good barbecue here. You can get brisket, any kind of smoked type meat. Just a great place to eat. You can order it and take it home. You can eat in. You'll have to check out Red State Barbecue. And, really it's not that far from where you live if you're up here on this northern side. So that kind of takes care of the restaurants I wanted to show you. The schools and, even the park that's around there. But let's take a quick look and see what golf courses are nearby. Maybe you're going to be retiring and moving into the area. One of the houses we're going to show you next is in a gated golf community. So let's take a look first at this one. As you can see, it's just here to the north where our schools were and our park is this Kearney Hill golf course. Now, any golf course here in the Bluegrass area is just a beautiful place. Typically, you can see waterways nearby, whether it be the river or the creek. Definitely looking at some of the horses in the area. Just a beautiful place to spend time playing around a golf. Now, this one is not in the gated community that I was going to show you. So let's go back over here and see if we can find the one that's in the gated. All right, this next one is right down here at Griffin Gate. Now, this is a gated community, so to be able to golf here is probably not going to be open to everyone. But I'll double check on that and see. It's right outside of the Marriott, and it's just a beautiful area here at Griffin Gate. Expensive hotels are around. Somebody took some really pretty pictures, and you can see some of the houses here in the background. So let's take a look at exactly where that is here on our map. You can see it is just here outside of New Circle Road and inside of I-64. So it's just right here in this area. And so one of the next houses that we're going to take a look at is real close to this area. So without delaying, let's go ahead and look at our houses that are just under the $500,000 range. And let's look at that first one that was real close. It's right here. So it's right in this golf club area. Let me see if I can get us here to look at it. I don't know if it's going to open on my map. We may have to go over here to my MLS and take a look at it over here. Now, the houses in this price range, of course, they're going to have more amenities. They may not be larger houses, but they're going to have nicer finishes. So people who are looking for maybe their next level home, this would be the houses that you might be interested in. So you can see that this does have all hardwood floors in this main area of the house. It is all open. It has a neutral paint color, very tall ceilings with with crown molding, gas range. It has some upgraded countertops with, looks like granite countertops and updated cabinets. You know, an upgrade. It's not the basic model of cabinets. Nice fireplace. And I mean, from this angle, you can really entertain guests here because it's very open. What do you think about this house? Now, if we're comparing it, you know, this house is priced just under $500,000. And if we're trying to compare it to our houses that we were looking at in the 330s. So this is your primary bedroom. You can see it has the vaulted ceilings. It does have a lot of really nice upgrades in this home as compared to some of the other homes. But you know, you could take some of those lesser priced homes and put some of these upgrades in it. But what do you think? Leave me a comment of what you think. Is this house, would it be worth it to you to pay a little more to have maybe some of these upgrades? Or do you think, no, this house doesn't really look that upgraded? Let's take a look if we can at the backyard. Now you can see this aerial view. You see down here where this house is. You can see the tennis courts. You can see how the golf course goes all the way around the neighborhood. You'll be able to see, here's that little small lake that we were seeing a few minutes ago. You can see it's going into the downtown area here. Now, from this view, you can see up here all the way to the back of the screen is a big blue building that's downtown. So this is all your downtown area. And if you come all the way to this side of the screen, over here will be Bluegrass Airport and Keeneland in this area. So lots of green space over here in Griffin Gate. And a lot of times, you know, people just really want these amenities. Now this house will have an HOA. We'll check that out in just a minute, but you can see what a nice property it is, and it does have those amenities. This one, the HOA is priced at, thinking it's $330 a month, and you know that pays for your pool maintenance, your common area maintenance, snow removal, all those kinds of things. Now this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's a little bit older house. It was built in 1989, just under 2,400 square feet. So what did you think about that house in comparison? Let's go back over here to our map and let's take a look at our last 2 properties that we wanted to see. Now I wanted to show you this one kind of on our map if I could. You can kind of take a look. I think it's this house right here, and you can see it's almost a mirror image of the one next to it. I'm not sure if that's something that you would like or not, but it is a nice 2-story property. Let's see if we can kind of go down the road here, get a look at the houses around it. Large houses next to it. So this is a really nice area. Let's see if we can take a look at this one in my MLS. Now, this is priced right at, so it was the house next to it. So this one is priced at $479,000. Under that $500,000 range, it's 3,379 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's built in 2017. So let's take a look at the photos here. It's a much larger house. Looks like it's brick on the front. Nice 2-story. Looks like luxury vinyl flooring. Open concept somewhat, but not completely open. You can see that this has maybe a butler's pantry here, open family room. See how it opens into the kitchen. Paint is a nice neutral color. Then we've got our stairs going up. This is a really pretty kitchen. It does have the darker cabinets and the sink that's in the island. Lots of seating space. Lots of prep area space here. Now this is at the top of the stairs. They've got another seating area just outside of the primary. So you can see the double tray ceilings. Looks like a large bedroom. Here's the primary bathroom. Nice walk-in shower. A really nice tub closet. These are the extra bedrooms for the kids or guests. And it looks like there's carpet on the upstairs level. Now here is the laundry room in the backyard. So it is fully fenced. And what do you think about this one? It is a nice large home and priced under $500,000. It gives you lots of space, you know, for your kids, or definitely if you have teenagers, growing kids, it gives you that plenty of room for all the things that kids like to do. So you can see why that $500,000 range it shows you the difference in what you can get for the money. Now, the last house we wanted to look at that's in this just under 500,000. Let me see if I can find it on my list. Now, this one is very close to the Sandersville School. So if you have kids going to school in that area, you might really like over here on this Sandersville Road. Now, you can see that there are townhouses across the road, but this is a wide road. I mean, I'm not sure if you can tell so much from this photo. I'm not sure why that's blurred out, but you can tell that this is a wide street. Let's go over here and take a look at it on the MLS. Now, this house, more traditional, it's about 2,534 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 full baths. It was built in 2018. So let's just take a look at this one. What do you think about the dormers here at the top? It's got the arch over the garage door and the arched window with the stone. So it does have some additional details. Now, what do you think about this kitchen, this flooring here? Not sure. It looks like luxury vinyl plank. I'm not sure I've seen that kind before. Now, it's an all-white kitchen, has the stone fireplace, really nice open area. Now, I'm not sure why they stopped this counters from going all the way over and adding more. Maybe they have room there for a small table. I'm not sure. What do you think about that? Would you want to put a piece of furniture maybe there? But you've got places over here for your pretty dishes and maybe extra pots and pans and, cooking anything you plug in like a crock pot or a Instapot. This is a really large shower, primary bedroom. Oh, let's go back because I think we did miss that primary. They only had one picture of that. But look at all those windows. 4 windows in there. It's nice and bright. Now, these are other bedrooms and the other bathrooms. Looks like the carpet is fairly new. Granite countertops in the bathroom vanities. There's your laundry. It does have a covered porch on the outside. I like that. You can sit out and, have your coffee in the morning or sit out on the back porch and have a glass of wine at night. So it makes it nicer when you can have someplace that is covered. What do you think about this house? Do you think it's worth the money, even though the space really is not as big as the last one we looked at 2,500 square feet? This one is much smaller, but it's in a really nice, the elementary school is that newer school that we talked about a little while ago. Some of the last things that we want to look at. Lexington and Fayette County recently just opened 2 new Publix stores, and there are a couple stores, maybe 3 in Louisville, but we really don't have any Publix in Lexington. So the very first one to open, you can see, is just north of New Circle Road here at Citation Point, and you'll be able to see that it would be so handy for people who live up in this area. Just a really nice large store, clean, new. They've hired lots of people here. So, as far as a new employer, this would be a really great place for you to shop. And whether you have groceries delivered, it's a pretty quick drive over there to the Publix. Now, the last couple things I wanted to show you is this cute little coffee shop. Now, it's called Leestown Coffee. And I've been in this little coffee store. It's right here on Leestown Road, which is 421. They've got little pastries in here. People like to go in here and sit and maybe do some of their schoolworks. You see students in here sometimes. They can make all kinds of fancy coffee drinks, the cold brew drinks. There you can see their list, their teas, and check out those pastries. Now that's just right over here at Leestown Coffee. So you can see on our map. Let's see if we can get over here where we can kind of take a look at it. It's just inside of New Circle Road as you're going into downtown. Now, one thing that people do ask me about a lot is, how long is it going to take me to get from this neighborhood into downtown? Now, you can see where all our houses are here up in the north. To get into downtown, you're going to need to you can get right here on New Circle Road and travel around to one of the areas, or you can just take 421, which is this road right here, straight into downtown. It'll take you straight down to Rep Arena or any area right here in the downtown. Let's see if we can kind of zoom in, and you can see that it is a straight shot here on 421 to get into downtown. Then you're right here on Broadway, and you can get into any one of these areas. So if you live up in the Masterson Station or the Griffin Gate area, to be able to get into downtown is probably going to take you, well, once they finish this construction that they're working on right here at New Circle Road, it'll probably only take you between maybe 15 minutes depending on what the traffic is. So it's a quick drive into downtown. And you can see that you're very close to these elementary schools. If you live in this area, it's kind of like a community that your kids all will go into these schools depending on what neighborhood that you're in. But as we try to zoom in and focus on houses in that $350,000 range, and we compare those to the houses in the $500,000 range, what differences did you see that maybe would be a deal breaker, other than the payment, of course? But if you're looking for a larger home, maybe with some updates, going with some of those that are a little bit priced closer into that $500,000 range is going to get you a larger property. So reach out to us if that's something that you're thinking about. Send me a text, send me an email, or give me a call and let me know what area it is that you're looking at. Maybe let us know where you're going to work. If you're going to be working in Lexington, what area do you want to live in? That's what we want to help you be able to determine so that you can get into the right neighborhood. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're coming in from out of state and you're trying to figure out where you want to live, maybe you're a retiree and you're wanting to downsize as you move into Lexington, but you don't want to be close to a lot of, noise. You want to be close to medical centers, or whether you are ready to move up into your next level house. Being able to figure those things out and let us know what your budget is, we'd be happy to help you search around Lexington and find out what would be the best fit for you in the area that you would like to be in. Depending on what your budget is and some of those other factors, we'd be happy to help you make the move into Lexington. So until next time, I hope to see you around town.